Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. We're so excited to have you again. The activities of Fulani herders and the aftermath of these activities on the host community is considered to be very inimical. But then for some communities, it is considered to be worst, especially for Ebonyi State, who recently we heard what the Fulani herders did to them just because of a little squabble here and there. And right now, some Southeasterners, majorly the elite, have decided to call on the governors to do this exactly so that this issue that had rampaged the people of the Southeast can be brought to an end. You're going to be hearing from different persons and advice that they have to give to the state governors, at least to see how they can stop the activities of these Fulani herders. But before we give you the full details of the news and further analysis, we'd like to encourage you to please subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button and also the bell icon so that you can get notification anytime we publish our videos. All right, let's look at the news in detail. A clergyman, Reverend Christopher Edeg, and other prominent Igbo leaders have called on governors of the Southeast to step up and enforce a ban on open grazing in their states, like other states of the Federation. These, they said, will end the in-season invasion and killing in the zone by armed herdsmen. There have been invasion and killing by suspected Fulani herdsmen in some parts of the zone, including Ebonyi and Enugu states. The Igbo leaders believe that the governor of the zone had not been bold enough to stop open grazing in the zone, an attitude they say was responsible for the killing in the rural area in the zone by herdsmen. Edegde, who is the Methodist Archbishop of Enugu, in his submission, advised the governor to be serious on the ban on open grazing in their respective states so as to protect rural dwellers against constant herdsmen attacks and killing. In a telephone interview, the clergyman lamented that rural dwellers of Ebonyi State were now living in fear, a situation he condemned, saying the Ebonyi citizens should not be strangers in their own land. He challenged the governors to protect their citizens, which is the major constitutional assignment in governance. The cleric said, and I quote, he said, the security situation in the country is worsening. It is very bad, but it is much more painful in Ebonyi State. They are turning our state into battlefield. We have this issue at Nkalaha, Ishialu local government area of the state not long ago. Now we have another one at Ngbo. There is a communal crisis going on at different places in Effium and Izi people, and the one going on in Ikwa local government area of the state. All these things are very worrisome. The issue of joint security network in the Southeast is long overdue. It has been long we have been asking for it. We are happy that the governors are now having enough political will, but then the problem with managing it and making it effective is important, because it is not just about forming anything or giving it a name. It's about the political will to make it effective so that it provides the security we need. This security network should receive the backing of the law. I know that the army is part of the joint security outfit. My greater view is that you cannot possibly have security unless our governors have the guts. This open grazing which they ban must be backed by law. It is not about pronouncing it. It has been pronounced long ago, and yet we all know that open grazing is going on everywhere in the entire Southeast. They have said it long ago that they only want to see cattle behind trailers in the market, but we all know that even in our university environment, our roads and bushes have all been overtaken by open grazers. On his part, Honorable Iduma Igariwe, member representing Afikpo North South Federal Constituency of Ebonyi State in the House of Representatives, who spoke while entertaining questions from his constituency during a town hall meeting which he organized, said, though every Nigerian have the right to live anywhere in the country and do his or her business, such business becomes a nuisance and threat to the livelihood of the people of the area the person operates it, if the business offends the law of that place or go against its norm. According to Igariwe, on the issue of herdsmen menace in our state, we all know that it is a national problem. As far as I'm concerned, anybody has the right to live anywhere in the country. Any Igbo man has the right to go to the north to do his business. A Hausa man, Yoruba, Ijaw, or Fulani has the right to also go to any part of the country to do his own business. But that your right stops where another person's right begins. That is the commonest way of looking at it. If your business now becomes the albatross, if it now becomes a nuisance, a threat to other people's means of livelihood, then something has gone fundamentally wrong with that business. If you are an Igbo man and you are in the north, when you do business and your business offend the law of the land or against their norm, then you are not doing good business there. It means you don't even have respect for the people. If they come here from the north and don't obey our law, we have simple laws of even trespass. If I have a property and you enter my property by force, it is trespass and the law should take its course. If I have crops like the farmer and you go and destroy it by whatever means, you have damaged my property. And there are laws on all these things. This is why I said we have those who the buck stop on their table. Do we have chairmen of local government or state governors who implement basic laws because of our democracy is a democracy of laws? It is a democracy that is based on laws. If we allow lawlessness or anarchy, then there is nothing else left of the society. It is a gross violation of people's fundamental right to trample on basic statutory law without any form of redress by the power that be or the offender. In Benue State, for instance, the government has gone ahead to enact certain laws like the anti-grazing law, and it is like that in some other more progressive state. Then you begin to ask yourself, what are you doing to address it in your state here in the Southeast? Wow, that's a big question. You know, one of the things I realize must be taken very seriously is standards that the government must set up for laws that are made. When you make laws, you must prove or you must show that you are serious with the law and you set standards for implementations of that law. And you also make sure that those who violate it, what I mean by standard there is, you need to put structures on ground and people will see you pushing to ensure that no matter whose ox is God, the law must be obeyed. Do you understand? But that's one thing that is lacking. We make laws, but implementation is a problem. I could still remember in a faraway place like Plateau, where the people were complaining that most of the communities have been taken over by the Fulanis, despite the fact that there were laws that were made to ensure that these Fulanis were brought under the law, that's brought under punishment for whatever they did. Nothing happened to them. The governors just keep on rolling out laws, but implementation is at a zero level. It makes no sense to roll out a law and then you cannot implement the law. Violators are seen littered everywhere. That's why the country is where we are currently. And I feel the position of these guys, that's the position of the people talking, ranging from the Bishop of the Archdiocese of Enugu State down to the representative, that's House of Representative for Afikpo people, should be taken seriously. Implementation is what we are eager to see, not just storytelling every now and then. Go to our comment section. What do you think? Or what way do you think can be employed to see that the implementation is strong enough and